So for anybody wondering, what we have is a swarm trap that was purchased from Horizontal Hives by Dr. Leo, filled with organic wax foundation, also purchased from Dr. Leo. And then back in about late March, I started using Swarm Commander vials, the ones that you crush. And I would put the scent around the entrance of the swarm hive. And since then, I've seen every once in a while like a couple scouting bees, but nothing crazy. And then this last week, we've been expecting a swarm. And we thought we caught it the other day. But I don't believe that we did, because we didn't. And we were going to leave them alone all weekend. We weren't going to come out here for nothing. And about 2 hours ago, my wife walked out here to pick up the mail, and she told me we should come out. And so we did. And we've been slowly watching this build with a lot of excitement, because this is definitely what's happening right now, is we're going to be in the middle of a swarm. And it will be a lot of bees when it happens. But I mean, just in the last 2 hours, we went from like 10 or 12 bees occasionally being around, and then it would get quiet, and then, you know, maybe be like 10 or 15 more. And now, yeah, now what do you think? There's got to be 300-400, right? I mean, they're coming. That's Bumblebee. So I'm just going to ride this out. And if they stay, which I hope they will, and I assume they will, we will be putting them straight down below into a Land's hive that is already outfitted also with organic wax comb foundation. And then we will put this right back up here and see if we can replicate our efforts. But I gotta catch this one first. It's crazy.
It's so cool that we used to look at this and think, uh-oh, we're going to have to figure out how to kill
Right,
this.
right, yeah.
Get rid of it. And now it's like, bring more on.
No kidding. And what's funny is they're not even coming around us at all. Like, they could care less that we're here. We're not posing any threat to them.
It's just cool that we made such a turnaround.
Mm-hmm. But the way the traffic's picking up, I have every expectation that the main swarm will come here soon. Now, I don't know if they're going to beard or anything. They may just keep coming in waves. I don't know how it works. Oops. I gotta keep the picture. Yeah, this is cool nature in action, huh? It's funny because last weekend I wanted to be out here so bad to catch them swarming. I wanted to be in the middle of the swarm. And here we are a week later, and I think we're exactly in the middle of the swarm. Sorry for the camera. Now the question becomes, is this my hive? Yeah, it could be. It could be. The question is this my hive swarming, which should have swarmed several days ago? Yeah, the volume's definitely picking up. Can you hear it? Or is this a feral swarm? That's what I want to know. That's so cool. They're definitely moving in.
I feel like it's pretty interesting that I insisted you come up and check this out.
I swear it's like you have a sense for when it's time. Because we were going to stay away all weekend.
Yep.
We were going to give them all the space they needed to make this happen. And it is happening. It is absolutely starting to pick up with bees. That's the closest one's even come to me since this started. That one went right between us. Oops, sorry. I do not have a stand out here, so I'm literally doing this holding my phone, and my fingers are tired because I'm old. Oh my god, this is so cool. And I just think that if we do this naturally, they're just going to be stronger colonies. The funniest thing is, like, you and I both were so sure that we had a swarm the other day. And now this does seem a little different, right?
It does.
Yeah. This isn't just a couple bees. Because look,
Number of bees.
yeah.
And
look,
the number of bees that are going in and
staying in, right?
Not coming back out.
Right. And you can see them. Remember I said I thought we needed to wait until we saw them pointing their Nasonoff glands out? I think that's what they're called, the Nasonoff glands or Nasoff glands. And now I'm starting to see kind of that behavior where they're landing and they're sticking their little booties in the air. Yeah, look, you can hear the sound picking up.
And they're doing that twist, that spin like a tornado that they
Yeah.
do.
They're definitely orienting versus like
Or
inspecting.
like homing in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're doing like orientation flights.
I mean, the noise has increased
Dramatically, yeah. Oh, the noise is definitely up.
So that's what they did just a little bit ago, and then they ended up daisy chaining down.
No, they're definitely moving in. And look, it's funny because there's a couple of them down in the lower hive, but nothing like what's up here. Oops. I should have quit moving the camera. Oh yeah, this is awesome. That's so cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we will be having a new swarm of bees. That's so awesome. I can't believe that this is working so well. So definitely have to make sure you guys know we use Swarm Commander, the crush vials with the cotton swabs at the top. I've been putting one in every 3 weeks since the end of May, or since the end of March. Probably about March 18th when it warmed up. Oops. And then we expected a swarm like 3 weeks ago. And then it got really cold. So I reapplied Swarm Commander to this box after the 3-week period. And I also put some down in this box, which you can see there's a couple bees going in and out, which is why we were tripped up last couple days ago. We thought we had 2 swarms. So that hive already has organic wax foundation and Swarm Commander inside of it, on the off chance that there were going to be 2 swarms in the area. But there is clearly a difference between the energy in that box and this box. And so we'll be capturing the swarm in this box, and then we'll transfer them down. Again, the hive itself is exactly the hive that you get. I want to say it's like $300 or something like that from horizontalhive.com, Dr. Leo. I'm not going to slaughter his last name. But it's working. It is definitely working. These girls are moving in. I also swear, when I got home and there wasn't a swarm in here, I almost gave up on beekeeping altogether. But as they say, never give up. Because this is absolutely a swarm right now that's moving in. And then what's cool, while they get set up and get going in there, I'll keep the other hive with Swarm Commander, and on the off chance we catch a second swarm, I can actually, it's a 20 frame lands hive, I can actually split that in 2 and put 2 swarms into that box, and if one of them becomes weak, we can go ahead and combine them just right then and there.
These bees can't be from your hive because they're not dinking us in the forehead and biting my ears.
Yeah, they're not chasing you out of here.
No.
Well, they don't have anything to fight for right now, so give them a couple weeks. You might be a deep kimchi, mama. That's why we got you that veil hat, so you can just put it on and come out here and look. My poor wife has been assaulted by our bees out back lately. This is so cool. I'm debating whether I should turn it off and come back when the rest of the swarm comes. Or...
Cool is if you had binoculars.
We do. They're hanging in the right by the door, but you'd have to go get them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're not going to scare these guys off now. They're going to move in. It's a done deal. I just don't know how long it's going to be before the rest of the...
That's the thing. I'm not willing to miss it.
But yeah,
Isn't there a magnifying app?
No, I don't think so. You'd have to just zoom in on your phone. You can zoom in on your phone, though. Your phone's right there. You can just video it and zoom in on your phone. I know. with this wonderful color commentary. That is so cool. Now they're starting to do just regular hive behavior. You know, like they're coming in, they're popping out, they're doing an orientation flight, and they're going right back in. Yeah, this is done deal, baby. I cannot seem to keep the camera on the front of that hive. Yeah, the down hive doesn't have anything going on. They definitely know where they're going. They just don't know they'll end up down there anyway, but I am in control. So glad the overlords didn't smite us. Because these little suckers just like to remind me who's in charge all the time.
All the time.
So we thought were going to catch a swarm last weekend, and we literally sat out here all weekend. And then we got nothing. We got nothing burgered out. I took a bunch of shorts on that. Then I left for business, and my wife sent me some videos of this type of activity, and we were quite sure, and I was quite bold in my prediction that we had caught a swarm. And in fact, we did not. And so the weekend was spent mourning and thinking that I was a complete and total failure as a second-year beekeeper who thinks he knows everything about bees. And so my wife and I decided all weekend that we weren't going to go near either the backyard or this one. And about 2 hours ago now, my wife came out here to get some mail and told me we had to come back over here because she thought it was happening again. And this time, I believe we are right. So, 18 minutes in, and you get to ride this out with me. Because now I'm not turning it off no matter what. This might take 2 hours for all I know. I don't think it will. I have kind of expected it to be like the outgoing swarm we saw last year, where it would be just chaos and bees, but maybe it's not the way it works. Maybe they just come in like this. This is the actual coolest thing, man. Because more of them are just coming in. So it's almost like they're coming in waves. There's not nearly as many leaving as coming. From my expert analysis, I'm hand counting them on their way in and out, you know. I just want to say to all the haters, you can can suck it. I'm just kidding. I don't have any haters. Now I just gotta figure out if this is from my hive out back or not. Because if it's not, it's feral bees, which will be even cooler. But I would imagine by now she's gotta be in there, right?
They're not doing anything that I would expect them to do. I mean, this is like normal hive activity, but I have no clue.
I mean, I would think they gotta
Because
come.
it does come in waves. It's
Yeah,
always,
it's like they do, right? They're coming in waves,
it's
right?
always busy, but it
Yeah,
definitely comes in waves.
yeah. I knew that fresh pine air would attract them. They couldn't resist. And then what'll happen is, assuming I don't get another swarm down below, I'll move this box into that hive, and then I'll just put it right back up, and we'll see if we can't catch another one. I probably wouldn't do more than 2 this year because I'm learning the lands process, the natural beekeeping process, but I would definitely do 2. And now I have to hope that my back hives actually have eggs next time I look, and that'll probably be tomorrow. I'll need to go look. Oops. Out of picture. You can kind of hear them starting to fly around. Alright, just in the interest of YouTube, I'm going to have to split this into 2 videos.